You're very lucky. You're very lucky. You're very fortunate. I hope you're soaking all this in, and I hope for the future, I hope you maintain these videos because you'll want to look back on them. How's it going, guys? Amagansett Press, and we are coming to you today from Wichita, Kansas. We are at the Kansas Gas and Energy Company named Evergy here in Wichita, and we're just gonna pay a little visit on these folks here today and find out if they honor and respect our right to take video and photographs in public and from publicly accessible areas of public places. Interesting story with this one here. I'm a little older than some of you viewers, and many moons ago I fell in love with a Glenn Campbell song called The Wichita Lineman. It's a great song. If you've never listened to it, check it out. There's a lot of hidden meaning behind it. There's a good moral to the story, and I think every one of us who are out here doing the right thing, raising a family, going to work every day, keeping the wheels turning, we're all Wichita linemen, man, and much respect to you all. But it's always been somewhat of a back burner dream of mine to wind up in Wichita, and what better place to audit than where the lineman works, at the energy company. So this will be an interesting one, and yeah, so as usual I am out with Watching the Watchman. And let me give you a little view of the neighborhood here. And while I'm doing that, time and temperature check. Today is Friday, April 9th. It is 1:13 in the afternoon, and it is 72 degrees and cloudy in Wichita, Kansas. How's it going, Watchman? What's happening? Finally made it to Wichita.
Yeah.
You gotta see if the lineman's around. Hope everybody's having a good day. I appreciate you guys joining us here. Glad we're able to bring you to Wichita. And hope we get a good audit. So stand by. As some of you who follow our channels know, I do at times exercise my Second Amendment as well as my First Amendment on these audits, which I am doing today. And we are on a public sidewalk here out in front of Evergy. And for the time being, we'll be staying on the public sidewalk here. So we looked up the GIS survey maps and Onyx and checked the property lines. And out here in front of the energy company, the property line is actually along the inside edge of the sidewalk. Of course, there's an easement. And then if you go over to this side of the building, their property line runs just about down the edge of the curb inside the parking lot there, the fence. And then everything to the left of it is public property. And if any of you are out there thinking about doing any audits, highly recommend you check your GIS survey maps and Onyx and whatever else you use, just to double and triple confirm that you know where your property lines are, where the boundaries are. And you know, the whole point there is not to give anybody any ammunition against you. And then we also never miss an opportunity to honor Old Glory, waving in the steady breeze here today, as she should. POW, MIA, not forgotten, never forget. Do you want to take a walk around the side there on the public property where we can go?
I guess, right? Might as well.
Yeah, might as well check it out. It's the only other side of the building we can walk on.
Yeah.
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just curious, see you guys walking around taking videos. I had a couple coworkers a little uneasy about that. I just want to make sure everything was cool.
A couple of coworkers uneasy about
you guys videotaping the building and their vehicles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you can understand that aspect of it. I mean, this day of, you know, people stealing identity and finding different ways to do that. People videotaping people's license
I'm having a hard
plates.
time hearing you because of the traffic. And I'm not worried about the face covering thing. Don't worry about that.
I
I don't
worried
need
about
the 6 feet. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, I'm not either. I was just trying to stay in the shot.
Oh, I got you.
No, all kidding aside. No, they're just concerned that people taking pictures of license plates and that sort of thing. And I just was going to ask you gentlemen what was going on.
Well, I generally don't explain what I'm doing when I'm standing on a public sidewalk. That would kind of be like you're on a public sidewalk doing your thing and I walk up and ask you what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's just that you're videotaping some people's personal vehicles, and I was just asking about that aspect.
I don't know what's personal vehicles and what's company vehicles.
Well, the company vehicles have the name on the sides, and the personal vehicles are the ones that don't.
You could assume that. But after 51 years on this planet, I realized that I tend not to assume things.
I understand. Any of the vehicles here that have the Evergy name are company vehicles, and any of the vehicles that are here right now that don't are not.
So what would be, let me just ask you, I'll entertain your question because you're being professional and cordial.
Well, there's no other way to be, man.
So what would, even if I was taking video or photographs of people's license plates, what would be the concern there?
Well, some people have voiced the concern that somebody might visit them at their house or might do some searches, and there might be some other repercussions coming from that, is what it was told to me.
Well, my answer to that would be, is a license plate's plastered on the back of your car. I know here you only have a back plate, right? No front plate.
That is correct. In
Right,
the state of Kansas, that is correct.
Right. So you know, it's out for public viewing, and as far as I'm aware, I don't think the public has access to that information.
I'm not familiar with that. I've never tried.
They
so
might. Yeah, I don't.
I can't say one way or the other, but it behooves me not to just ask the questions. It's not every day that we see somebody filming the building and asking the question. So, you know. I
Gotcha.
wouldn't be doing my due diligence, and I wouldn't be doing them any.
Well, you
favors
work for
if I didn't-
Evergy, right?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
Yeah, so I think the due diligence would have been on the part of the Allied Universal security guard, who got into what appeared to be his personal vehicle, pull out of the gate and yell LGBTQ at me with his thumb up.
I
That was-
not a
that-
witness to any of that, so I'll have to.
Well,
take
it's
your
on
word
video, yeah, but well, you'll see the video. But that's what your security guy's doing. So maybe he needs to be out here talking to me instead of playing games while he's on.
If he left, there's no chance he's going to come out and talk to you.
Well, you know what? Well, he pulled out of the gate right past us and just screamed out something real stupid, as far as I'm concerned, for no reason.
I wasn't a part of that. I can't tell you what.
But I think we could both agree that if you have security personnel contracted here on the property to run security, one of them is the people that should have came out and spoke to me rather than yourself.
They, well, yeah, as you mentioned earlier, what I was told was that since you are on public properties,
Right.
and since you are, there really isn't anything that they could do since you have maintained on public property while you're doing it.
Well, it's good that they know that.
So they said there's really nothing they can do. So I said, well, and my supervisor said, you can go out and have a chat with him if you want. So here I am.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and just so you know, I mean, we could have walked onto the property. There's nothing stopping me. There's no trespassing signs or anything like that.
I'm not disagreeing
So,
with you at all.
but we're staying out on the in the public domain here of our own accord, you know.
And I appreciate and respect that. Thank you.
No, we're not trying to disrespect anybody or rile anybody up. We're just doing our thing out on a public sidewalk, man.
Okay.
You know, and as far as it being unusual,
Yeah, well, for us it is.
I get that. But if somebody rode down the sidewalk on a tricycle with a pink tutu on, that would be unusual. But it wouldn't be against the law, and it wouldn't be something you'd want to go ask them what they're doing for.
Well, we actually had an incident where some people were starting some fires under the bridge. They seemed fairly normal until they started some fires under the bridge, and we recently had somebody seemed okay until they exposed themselves. So we've had a few incidents in the last couple of months that were not on our property, but they were well within our visual.
And did Allied do their job that day?
Their job was the cops were notified and things were taken care of. Yeah.
Very good. Well, that's what, you know, because security's job is to observe and report.
And that's what they did.
Right. So here,
those situations, but you know, this being this situation that it is.
I just really don't get the fear of cameras that people have.
I can respect that.
I don't know, when you and I were young, you have a little gray hair, so I'll lump you into my category. But
I'm happy to be there because I noticed you have a little bit too.
Yeah, more than a little bit. But and I earned every one of them.
I'm not disputing
you know,
that.
when we were younger, people had no issue with the camera. Man, you'd see somebody out here and you'd come out for your lunch break and go, "Hi, Mom," and wave and get in your truck and leave.
I get that.
So I don't know if you know, there is a certain level of prudence and precaution that you must take, and that, like you said, that would be you'd be lacking in your responsibility if you didn't do that.
No.
But on the other hand, people panicking, getting all nervous and inventing, oh, they're going to look up my plate, come to my house. That to me starts to fringe on paranoia and a level of fear where none of us wants to be. And most of the time that's
I can respect that.
you know,
opinion.
that's all inside somebody's head, and I tend not to live my life that way.
I can respect that opinion.
Right.
I can.
Yeah.
And you know, I think we've come to terms with everything needs to be said out here, unless you have any other questions.
Yeah, I would just, you know what I would have done if it was me? I would have came out a long time ago, asked me what I was doing, and said, "You gentlemen, you know."
Now, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I
No,
apologize.
okay, no problem. But you know, it's being that it's a public utility, I might even say, "Hey, do you guys want to come inside, take a look, and see what's going on here? Or do you have any questions about anything?" You know, because the public is able, if I wanted to, I could just walk up to the door, walk in. If somebody asked me to leave, obviously I'd have to leave.
I get that.
But
No,
you know, I could just walk. It's a public building,
Well,
publicly accessible building.
we do have certain COVID protocols in place in the building, and in terms of allowing visitors, there is some COVID protocols that are still in place that visitors have to do. So I couldn't just invite you in arbitrarily. Right. There's some hoops that would have to be gone through. So that option is not available to me today.
So before the COVID situation, you were welcoming visitors in?
Before the COVID situation, there would have been somebody else out here to talk to you.
There would have been somebody else out, as in security?
No, as in a higher-ranking official at Evergy.
And they don't do that anymore?
No, those people are working more remotely than before. So that's we're still in our COVID protocol. So that still is we're still there.
I got you. Well, what I'm going to do for you is, only because you've earned it. You're a true gentleman. Like I said, you're being very professional, very cordial, and I appreciate that. And I think you've proven my point here today, where we don't have to understand exactly what each other are doing. We don't have to approve of necessarily what each other are doing, but there's always that middle ground we can find and respect what each other are doing, and respect each other's right to do as we do. You know, I enjoy living in a free country, and right now, my favorite way of saying it is our Constitution is taking a proverbial ass whooping these days. So I'm going to tell you exactly what we're doing, only because I said, because you earned it. I probably wouldn't have explained myself if you came across any other way. But this is my son, okay? We're from Colorado.
Nice.
We've spent the last 18 months, we just turned 32,000 miles by road.
Wow.
Traveling the country. This is our 31st state we've been in.
Nice.
In defense of our Constitution. So what may seem strange to some is what we do is, I have a long history in photography, video. I used to work for newspapers and media outlets years ago.
Okay.
So many times in the course of my employment, my rights were infringed upon by police officers, employees, the public, on a public sidewalk doing my thing, right?
Sure.
So we've chosen video as our venue to go out and exercise our First Amendment right to take video in public.
Okay.
So it's a very fine line that we walk, because I don't enjoy myself riling up people's feathers, but at the same time, if I can catch your attention, somebody wants to come out and have the conversation, what that does from my perspective is inspires critical thinking and open dialogue and conversation. And if you choose to call if you had chosen to call the police on us, I enjoy having the same conversation with law enforcement, because we have very good law enforcement in this country in a lot of ways. Some law enforcement, not so much. So I enjoy finding the guys who are on the not so much side, having a talk with them, and making them think about what they're doing and how they're treating people, and how they're performing their duties and their mandate. So this is what this is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. As simple as it is, it's an exercise of rights.
Okay.
It's an exercise of the First Amendment. That's why we stayed on the sidewalk, because the sidewalk is the public domain.
Absolutely.
And we just walk around and take video. And ideally, my real hope is that nobody comes out, nobody says anything to us, or we get a friendly wave, everybody's okay with it, nobody gets upset, nobody gets put in fear, and everything's fine. That's really my end goal result. That's the world I want to live in, and that's the world I want to leave for my son.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
You know, those things don't always go that way.
Sure.
But then again, like I said, it gives us an opportunity to have the conversation.
I think these types of conversations need to happen more often.
Yes, sir.
And I think that there's a level of respect that has been lost in today.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how else to put it. I've seen it constantly.
Yep.
But I can't get too political. I don't want to be...
No.
I don't want to say that I'm saying this as an Evergy employee. I'm saying this as a person.
Right. And you've done nothing but make your company look very outstanding. So you have, I know from my perspective.
Thank you.
You've made them look very good, and you're a good representative for them.
Thank you. Well, we're just trying to do what we do, you know.
Of course.
And totally observe your rights.
And I get people's fears, but you know what? Look how quick you came out.
I just found out about it and took a few minutes to look at some things, and then decided to come out after I got permission, if you will.
Here's what you can do if you want to help the world, you want to help society. Go back inside and don't just tell them everything's okay. I talked to the guy, they're just doing their thing, taking video, whatever. Go inside and explain to them that these conversations are valuable. And that we need to communicate with each other. And, you know, maybe something that looks like an oak tree is really not an oak tree. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not what it appears to be.
Well, and that's, you know, and if we don't ask, we'll never know.
Right. So look how quickly you found out. But again, I want to emphasize, the only reason I'm being this forthright with you and I'm being this professional back at you is because that's what you threw at me. I return courtesy and respect with courtesy and respect, and I return, excuse my French, asshole with bigger asshole. I'm originally from New York, so I'll win that battle every time.
I can totally appreciate that.
Yeah, that's all it is, man.
I'm married to an Italian woman. I totally get that.
There you go. I bet you have very in-line kids.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not going to argue with that at all.
And you're Irish, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I see your hat.
Yes, I am. I do have some Irish heritage.
Yeah.
You're very lucky. You're very lucky. Very fortunate. I hope you're soaking all this in, and I hope for the future, I hope you maintain these videos, because you'll want to look back on them one day.
Oh, he will.
For sure.
And you know what? I'm just as lucky. I have the most wonderful kid I could imagine.
Good deal.
And I also have a wonderful wife. Been married. I've been with my wife since I was 14 years old. We started dating in high school. It's 37 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you know, gentlemen like yourself, don't feel like you just have to sit back and watch the news and get worried about what's going on in the world. Get proactive. And what you could do to be proactive, I'm not asking you to pick up a camera and go out and film places, but when you go back inside, don't, like I said, don't just say, oh, they're fine, they're exercising their rights, that's it. Really let them know what was going on out here today. So that at the very least, next time something like this happens, or they're in a situation where somebody's taking video, maybe they won't get, maybe you'll save them from having to get scared or afraid or worried about what's going on. It's just a camera, you know? And the guy that's going to look to cause you a problem, and the guy you really have to worry about, you won't even see him coming.
I would tend to believe that you're right on that.
But my name's Jason.
I'm Jeff. Nice
Jeff,
to meet
pleasure
you,
to meet you, sir.
Very nice to meet you. Ben, nice
And
to
I
meet
thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it. You're probably not going to remember the name of my channel because it's the name of the village I'm from in New York. Actually, you have your phone on you?
Yeah.
Do you have YouTube?
Yeah.
So go to YouTube,
Okay.
and I'll tell you exactly how you can find us, and you'll be able to see yourself acting like a gentleman on the video tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
And if any of Jeff's higher-ups are watching this video, man, don't be upset with him for coming out. Promote the guy, because this is who you want working for you.
I got lucky. My boss said okay. Otherwise, we're not supposed to talk to anybody with a camera.
Well,
Okay.
your boss did the right thing today as well. Tell him I said that,
I will
for
do
whatever
that.
that's worth.
I will do that. He's already called me once.
Good. So you're on
I'm on YouTube.
YouTube search.
Yeah.
So just put in AMAG. I'll be the first thing that pops up. Amagansett Press. That's me.
Okay.
And then my son's channel is easy to remember. It's Watching the Watchmen.
Is that this one?
That's us.
Okay.
Yep. And you guys, you know what? You passed with flying colors. 100% pass on your audit here, and I think you're partially to thank
if I
for that.
like, does that mean I'm following you now?
No, if you want to follow, you got to go back to the back to where you were. Scroll to the top.
Subscribe?
Yes,
Okay.
subscribe, and then there's a bell there. Hit the bell.
Okay.
And click all notifications.
All right.
And then make sure you don't have notifications turned off in your YouTube app.
Okay. I can do that.
And you'll be notified.
I'm not very technologically savvy. You can ask my kids that.
Well, this will be up tomorrow.
Okay.
And you'll be able to easily find it that way, or you can just type in Evergy. You'll find it very easily. But you know, guys, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but guys like us can do a lot to help what's going on, even if it's on a grassroots local situation, just making some folks feel better about what's going on. So I invite you to do that every day, every time you get the chance.
All
right, Jeff. Thank you, sir. You have a wonderful day.
You guys have a good day.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Is it okay if I stand next to your sign here for a second and just say goodbye?
I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for asking.
I appreciate you. Well, all right, guys. That was fantastic. I'm glad they sent the right guy out. Jeff was a true gentleman. Obviously, the people inside had a little bit of concern. He offered to come out and find out what was going on. I hope he goes back in there and quells their fears, straightens everybody out, and lets them know what's happening, and maybe gets people thinking a little bit. And because, you know, in any situation in life, in any relationship, in any situation in life, you're either helping it or you're destroying it. So be on the helping side. And I congratulate Jeff here, because obviously fear was not a factor for him. So, you know, I appreciate everything that went on here today. The security guard from Allied Universal, no other way to say it, those guys most of the time make jackass clowns out of themselves. So not surprised that's what he chose to do here today. And hopefully the higher ups inside see that. You know, not very professional, but you know, all's well that ends well, and 100% pass for Evergy Gas and Electric. That's it. Always like to remind you guys, if you enjoy our videos, you like what we do, you want to support us and help get our videos out to more people, best way you can do that, hands down, is to like, share, comment, subscribe. All that stuff tickles YouTube's algorithm, gets their juices going there, and gets our videos out to more folks, so more folks can watch them, enjoy them, and hopefully learn a little something. I think we're all out here getting an education and having the talk, and that's what it's all about. So of course I invite all you to do the same, and I'm going to be reminding you from now on, there are some good auditors out there doing some good work. Find those guys, support them, share their videos, comment on their videos, like their videos, and let's bring this entire auditing community up to the standard where it should be. Because when you do it right, you're doing something and you're accomplishing something, and I meant it. My goal here is to leave a better world for my son and for all the children that are coming up, because one day we're not going to be here and it's going to be up to them. But that's it. So I also invite you to do the same for Watching the Watchman's channel. I'm very proud of the work he's doing. I'm going to leave a link in the description to his channel, and I invite you to check him out. But that's it for now. So we're going to hop back in the truck, head down the road and see what else we can find for you. So for now, coming to you from the Evergy Gas and Electric Company here in Wichita, Kansas, watching the Watchman, Amagansett Press. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Out.